Welcome back, friends. And if you're visiting me for the first time, welcome to you as well, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Melanie with Melanie Smith Stamps, and I would like to welcome you to Spellbinders Clubs. This video is covering 3 different clubs. This time, we are mixing and matching the clear stamp of the month, the stitching die of the month, and the 3D embossing folder. Our main guy here is one of the gnomes. He has Coffee. This little set here has 3 cute gnomes on it. Well, I should keep the paper there so you could see them. There's one here sitting on a stack of books. There's one with his book and his coffee cup. And then there's one reading a book. So perfect for story time lovers, anyone that loves reading, loves school. I love the sentiments. Gnome, doubt, you, books, and coffee are my favorite. That's probably the one we're using today. Make this birthday, 1 for the books. And then long story short, thanks for everything. So I love the play on words with the books. And then, of course, if you get the stamp and die, you will have the dies for the coordinating sentiments as well as the gnomes and the books. So it's always worth the extra few dollars to get the actual set, because I think it's like $7 or something and you get the extra set. So that is that, and we are going to color the gnome up with Copics, and we are going to place the gnome in the stitched cup. So this stitching set this month, I did show in a previous video where we stitched this book. But this set has not only the book, but a laying down book with stitched pages. Then we have the stitched cup, and then we have a full flower set with foliage as well. So you could see here how you can stack your books, and you can use your cup with your flowers overflowing outside of it. So it's very useful because you have so many different options on the way to use it. And let's see, does this have that little bookmark in it? Yes, the little bookmark is right there also. Or that can also be used as a little tea bag. I've seen one of the other makers, have a little string coming out here, and they used it as a little tea bag hanging out of the cup, which I thought was adorable. So yeah, lots of options and versatility with this stitching this month. And then the 3D embossing folder is a very classic embossing folder. And let me just show you it used here. Actually, it's easier to see. It's a really pretty simple design, but very dimensional. So we're going to use that as our backdrop today. And then we're going to put our scene here on Wendy Vecchi's Heartfelt Thanks and Scallops, which is the only other thing we're using today. So let's jump in, and we will color our little gnome with some Copics, and then we will stitch our little cup, and then we will put everything together really simply. So let's see, how do we want to color? We have our color scheme here. So I picked coordinating colors for the gnome, and I always like to start with skin tone when I'm coloring with Copics. And these images will be super simple to color because they're so small, but they have nice open spaces. So I'm just going to give his hands and his nose a little bit of color with the E000. And that's all the skin he has, so it's going to be super simple. And then I'm going to come in with the E00 and just give a little shadowing around the nose area, leaving the center for the highlight. And I'll also come around the curve of his hand and the curve on this side. So I'm leaving that highlight in the center. There we go. I'll probably do it around the bottom too, because there's always some at the bottom. So that's all. Ooh, let me put my needle over here before I stab myself. That's all I'm going to do there for his simple coloring. And then let's see, how about we make his hat purple and blue? And then we'll go a little darker on his bottoms. So I think I will go with the purple in the two, maybe the two lighter colors. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to keep a highlight in the center. So I'm going to come in from both sides, and I absolutely love doing stripes, which is why, one reason why I wanted to do Copics here is because I love having that highlight in the center. It's so, I don't know, eye-catching, having that highlight in the center like this. So I come in with the light on either side, and I just kind of map in here where I'm going to put those shadows and where my highlight is going to be. I'm going to put a little bit over his nose too. So that's very, very pale. We're going to get darker. And that was V20 that I used there. Now we're going to come in with V22. And I'm going to come in just a little less because we want to keep a little of that light color there. So each time I'm coming out a little less just to start darkening the shadows. Like so. And I'm going to use all three colors here. And I will show you how that works. I absolutely love doing stuff like this. I haven't played with my Copics very much lately. Then we're going to see some contrast here when we come in with the deepest, which is V25. And we'll use it sparingly. Here, I'm using just the tip of the marker. And you're using it very, very carefully. You don't want to go too heavy-handed here. But you want to put enough ink down so that we can drag it out a little bit with the next layer. There we go. I'm going to have it come a little bit over here, a little bit up here, because he's going to have some shadow around that mustache and that nose. We're going to have it come in like so. All right, now you go back down to your medium, and you're going to drag this dark out towards your highlight. Still leaving that highlight though. Don't go all the way in. Just pull this with the tip of the marker towards the highlight. Just little flicks. Little flicks. And as you have more space, you can pull it a little more. Of course, the more space you have, the more space you have to play with. Remember, we still have a light to go, so you gotta leave room for it. And then we're going to soften those edges here. I'm still not completely covering that light center that we left there originally, but I'm just softening the edges of that last marker. And then the one last thing I'm going to do here is lay a little bit more of the darkest marker for the last little bit of contrast. So I'm going to come in here and just add a little bit more. Not as much, but I want to have that dark still showing here in these creases and along these edges. So I'm just going to come in, and the dark makes it go pow. Gotta think where the bends would be, and you gotta remember this is fabric that we're coloring here, and you can see some of the artist drawn lines kind of tell you a little bit. You want it really narrow, so you're using just the tip of your marker. You just want to kind of just have a shadow, just a little hint that it was there. And there you go. Pull this up to you so you can see his dark to light. So then we will do his actual bands here. I'm going to do the same thing, but just a lot less intense. I'm going to come in from either side with the light, leaving a little bit of shadow in the center, or yeah, highlight in the center. There's so much detail on these, you're not going to see the highlight really. And then I'm going to come in with the dark. You can see the dark a lot better. I choose a dark enough one there. And you're just giving an illusion. That's all coloring is an illusion. I'll pull it back out. Now these colors are B21 and B23. Just dragging that dark out just a tad towards that highlight. Not much, just a little bit. That's all I'm going to do for that. So we're done with those. Now we're going to use the purples again down here, I think. Let's go ahead and do his I don't know what you want to call this actually. I don't know if it's considered a shirt or because it's all one thing. So I'm going to try to make this darker though. Then we're going to put more heavy into this than we did with the hat. So I'm going to come out farther. Doing the same order as before though. The light, the medium, same colors as in the hat. I didn't grab a fourth color. I could have gone darker by just getting a fourth color. I'm not going to be too persnickety here because it is just a small little character image, but you could make this easier to go darker by just getting a fourth image or a fourth color. But the other thing you can do is just go over your colors an extra time too, and it does get darker. Oops. That big highlight there in the middle. And we're going to drag this dark out kind of far, because this is ultimately the color I'm going after here for his shirt. I'm not going to worry about having too much of a blend here because I want the darker color. Put that cast shadow under his beard. Kind of makes me think of my husband with his Santa beard. If you guys didn't see the live Friday night, or gosh, that might have been 2 Friday nights ago by the time this airs, my husband made an appearance on the live. I don't know if you guys know, my husband is Santa Claus. But he came home from bowling and surprised us with a little quick hello to everybody. Was not expecting that at all, but it was kind of cute. Now I'm just going to drag this out. You see how I just, by adding more of it, it just gave us a darker hue. And then I'm just going to fill in this highlight this time, and that'll just give it a darker highlight. Now, what's happening here on this, because I use so much dark, is I'm getting desaturation. Let me show you what that looks like. Desaturation is when you get kind of a bleaching effect here because you have too much of your light color on top of your dark color, and it pretty much bleaches it out because it has so much more alcohol in it than your base, your dark, I mean. So the lower the number, the more alcohol in the pen. So it has pretty much bleached out my dark color. So to remedy this, to get this to go away, you just do a full second layer. So I'm going to go back in here with my dark marker, and you do a little less, be a little less heavy-handed when you do the second time. But that's usually the fix for it. It's completely normal for it to happen. It's just science. The alcohol is made to take it away. So that's why the colorless blender blots out the alcohol and helps erase the alcohol and lightens the alcohol. It's because it's pure alcohol. So I'm going to add this back in here. And this is another reason why you want to have really good paper, because you want paper that's going to hold up to all of this ink. And if you have cheap paper, a lot of times it can't hold all these layers. So I always recommend Copic Express It paper if you want to be able to do things like fix your mistakes or go over a second full layer like this if you want to fix desaturation issues. So now it has a nice blend on there, and there's just the highlight. There's no bleaching of this area here because I did that. And now we have a nice darker shirt than hat, which is what I was after. So I'm going to go ahead and do his boots down here in a brown. We'll go ahead and I'm going to leave the lighter brown off of this and just do the two browns that I have. Not going to really worry about much of a highlight down here because I would think most of this would be in shadow, but I will leave a little bit on the tips of his toes. I'm just filling this in with my medium color, which is E31. Trying to remember to give you guys the colors. So this one here is E33. So I will go along the bottom and almost to his toe. And then we will blend out with that E31 to give him a little, just blend this a little bit in there so it's a little lighter up there on top. See how that looks. Trying to get a little even blend. I'm going to take the lighter one and that lightened it up a little bit. Okay. So then I want to, let's see here. Let's do his beard. We will go ahead and do, let me see how dark this one is. This is really light, yeah. So this is C0. This is cool grays that I've got here. Let's put down a layer to blend on. That would give him some gray hair. And then I'm just going to really go in shadow wise and just do some flicks here. Not too much. I just didn't want him to be stark white. maybe a few from up here, coming upwards. You're not going to be able to see this from the camera, I know, but you'll get the idea at least. Maybe just a little cast shadow under the beard, or the mustache, I mean. Not much. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there. Then let's see, we have a, oh, I forgot his hand. How did I do that? His arm over here. It's not a very big space, so I'm not being too fussy with it. You have to do 2 layers though, because I have the 2 layers on the clothes. Wasn't the right color. When you have those 2 layers, it does make a new color. Okay, so let's see. I think we'll have a brown book. We'll have lighter brown though, and we'll have a blue coffee mug. So let's just go ahead and give this a pale brown book, just to give it some color. I don't want a lot, just a little something. And then we'll use the blues for his coffee. And we will be done. Doing the same type of thing, leaving a highlight in the center. Same blues as in his hat. I'm using all these colors to coordinate with my paper, so everything looks cohesive when we get done, or close enough. All right, then we'll put a little bit of dark right down in here for the coffee. It's the darkest one I got, so that I pulled out. So here we go, Mr. Gnome, and he will be going in his coffee mug like so. Kind of cute. All right, so I will jump over here to the stitching, and we will do the stitching real quick. I am not going to worry about a knot on this one because we have enough room back here to put an actual piece of tape. So I will just tape her down. I think I can get tape in here. Let's see. All right. So we've got tape back there, and I will go ahead and just start this. And this is a very simple round stitch. It just goes from the out to the center. And then I thought maybe we'd go around. We'll see how much thread we have when we get to the end here. We might go around the outer edge. I went ahead and chose DMC color 162, which matches this cardstock from Spellbinders. Trying to think of the name of it. I'll put it on the screen so that you see it. Remember, all of the materials I use, I try to list down in the description also with the actual direct links to make shopping easier for you. And those are always affiliate links, so when you use those links, they cost you nothing to use, but they do support my channel and help me keep going. So I appreciate it very much when you use those links. Okay. Let's see how much we got here. Will we make it around? Should we make it around? Yeah, let's go for it. We will try. So I thought we would just come out one of these. And we would go around the outer edge. Just to be a little different on this one. This is a pretty cup. You could use this cup for any projects with coffee, tea, you know, with other stamp and die sets you already have. They could alternate the cups or mix or match cups that you have in your stash. It'd be really pretty. I love the Pearson cut. I love that Spellbinders keeps using that similar look. It's just so intricate and beautiful, and it comes out perfect every time. Oh boy, I don't know if we're gonna make it. Are we gonna make it all the way around? I'm getting short here. Will I have to actually start a new thread? I really don't want to start a new thread, guys. It looks like I'm going to have to, though. I like the way it looks, though. It's pretty. Okay, pray with me. Dear Lord, please help me reach the end. 2 more stitches. Okay, I'm pulling it to the very, very end. He's got my back. I just know it. Oh, I just did that out of order. Okay, so now let me see here. Totally out of order. Okay, but he's still going to make a way for me. Thank you, Jesus. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? Did I miss any? No, I didn't. He made a way, guys. He made a way. I love it. All right. And then I have enough to still tuck 2 different directions. Is that not perfect? Look at how much I have left. Snip. And our cup is done. Okay, let's put our card together. I'm going to add some adhesive to that real quick. We will just glue this onto our embossing folder layer. Put lots of glue so it'll soak down into that embossing folder, because that embossing folder is 3-dimensional. But we want this to make sure it adheres really well. I like my cards to make sure they're gonna last. All right, I just love these new scallops. I like that the inner one is baby and the outer one is larger. Another thing you could do is bump this up with 3D foam tape. But since we're going to have the cup raised, I thought we would leave that and not do that this time. Okay. So I'm going to raise the cup up, grab my 3D. And I got to leave enough room for him to be in here. So let's see where we're going to put him. just pop him up too. So he's the same as the cup. And there we go. I'm going to put one more right there. Okay, so awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to just put some glue right there and go ahead and glue him on, because we're going to put him down here like so. Oh, isn't he cute? Okay, so then I will take these release papers off. And let's pull our sentiment over here and see if we had the sentiment right there. We'll put him over to the side just a little bit like that. And then we'll go ahead and glue the sentiment right there in the corner. There we go. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Ah. Okay, I'm going to put a couple gems on it too. Let me see. I've got some gems pulled here. Which ones? I want to jazz up my cup there a little bit. I think... Oh, I'm going to put a purple one on it. Let's see. These are from Honeybee Stamps. I've had these forever. So I doubt there's a link to them. But I thought, yeah, it's got some purple ones. Super cute. So let me grab my picker. And we will just add a couple of these, or at least one to the center for sure. Oops. Okay, it's definitely sticky because it's stuck to my glass mat. There we go. Oh, I hear Miss Lola coming. Y'all hear Miss Lola coming? She wants to be part of the party. You know, you guys have never gotten to see Miss Lola. Would y'all like to see Miss Lola? Does Miss Lola want to come up here and be seen? Hey, Miss Lola. Okay, hold on. Let me get these on here. Super cute. Okay, tell me what y'all think about that in the description, but hold on, I'm going to get Miss Lola. Come here, Miss Lola. Come here. This is Miss Lola. This is Miss Lola, everybody. Look at Miss Lola. Say hi, guys. Say hi. Say I'm the one that you always hear playing in the background of my videos. Yes, look, see, she loves her mommy. So this is Miss Lola. So if you ever hear her rattling or munching or squeaking her toys, this is who you're hearing. She came into my life a little bit before my Papillon passed away, my Dior. So she has been a bright space of my life in my life and has filled a very big hole. So yes, then look, this is something she always does right here. She crosses her legs when she's comfy. So she must like you guys. So, okay, so this is all. This is me saying goodbye, and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye guys.